Okay, so this is the Ingersoll Rand 60-gallon air compressor here, model number SLS5L5. The reason I purchased this air compressor over other ones, for example, brands like Quincy or DeWalt or other sorts of air compressors on the market, was going to be the CFM that this unit can produce. So it says here at 40 PSI, it's 21 CFM. At 90 PSI, it's going to be 18.1 CFM. The maximum pressure of this unit is 135. It's going to be a 230 volt unit. This will and should be able to fit into my 30 amp breaker on the wall here. So I've wired in a plug, 230 volts with a 30 amp wall unit. I have a 50 or a 60 also wired in. I would like to use that for the welder, but this should work perfectly with this. Now, I was a little nervous in purchasing this because the reviews on it were like 5 stars from a bunch of people, and then you seem to have a pocket or a group which were 1 star or 3 stars or 2 stars, and they were like, it is absolutely awful. It doesn't work. It didn't work out of the box. Fingers crossed this unit will work here. Again, it's a big name brand. It should work. I got it from Home Depot. I am hoping, again, it's made in the US, that it is going to be under warranty of some sorts if it does have issues. I did look at the Quincy, so the other brand here, the nice fancy blue one. I'd never heard of them. Again, I don't work in the industry with a lot of air compressors, but I thought 60 would be a good size. And looking at the Quincy ones, they didn't have the CFM that I was wanting. Now, I'm wanting more CFM just so I can do a wider range of tools from sanding and cutting and painting. It's going to be my all-around shop air compressor here, so I needed something that can kind of cover the bases here. Now, I'm not a professional. This is not going to be used daily, you know, for 8-hour to 10-hour stints. It's just me solo running in the garage here. But I chose this just because I felt like the value was really good. I don't recall exactly the price. I think it was like $1,300 on Home Depot. It was on sale. It's a great deal. Again, it meets my needs with PSI and CFM here. And again, it's a brand I know of. This isn't going to be a Chinese brand. Shipping was amazing. I think it was Estes or whatever the shipping they called. Let me know it was going to come. My wife got it out front. They offered to put it in the shop for me. So, you know, 5 stars for them on that. My wife couldn't get the gate open. I was at work. We just couldn't make it work. So we jacked it up. It comes on this pallet. We jacked it up with a 2x6, about like a 5-foot long 2x6, and put a brick under each corner. It is so top heavy, right? It's gonna tip over. I think it weighs like 400, 450 pounds here, that you can't just tip it all the way up and put 2 bricks under, which is what you need to get a dolly under here. So I just jacked it up 1 brick at a time, jacked it up again, put a 2nd brick so we can slowly level it up, and then put some furniture dollies on here and wheel it in. I also purchased off Amazon, I'll put a link in the review as well, some of these little rubber feet. It just has a nut on the one end, on the bottom, that's like permanent. It's got one on the top that adjusts, and it's got a rubber foot. I'm hoping to do this and put these on here. You only need 3, it only has 3 feet, but it's a 4-pack. I'm hoping to use these underneath of this. I'm gonna dismount this, see if we can get it in the corner. I don't really know where I want it. Again, the outlet is over here, so we're gonna have to put it there-ish, but I don't know if I'm gonna want it further back or forwards or out or in or whatever. So I don't really wanna bolt it to the ground at this point, but let's get it in place.
Overall, I love this air compressor. I've used it for over a year now. I've used it for sandblasting. I've used it for cutting. I've used it for mechanic work. It has been amazing. I absolutely love it. But please, please use 2 people to offload this thing. I had a bear of a time trying to get this offloaded. Overall, I'd give it 5 stars. The value of how much you pay, $1,300 back in 2024, for the amount of CFM I am actually getting. I have never had issues with it running too much, overheating, or anything like that. So overall, 5 stars. Quality is great. Performance is great. I would highly recommend this unit.